Before the video starts, I need to tell a couple of things. First of all, shout out to Gender01 for letting me use this amazing story. This is the second part of the previous video, so if you have not watched part 1, make sure to watch that first or the video will not make sense to you. I will be leaving his Reddit page and the link of both parts of the story in the description below. Again, the story is not true, but that doesn't make it uninteresting. I have nothing else to say, so welcome to our Reddit stories. It's now been 2 days since the incident that has happened at school. I'm still pretty shocked about all of this. It's shocking for me to think about my best friend and his girlfriend dying so horribly. But in those past 2 days, so much has happened. Just so much. I started off by wanting to get rid of that damn Polaroid. No way I was gonna let anyone else get horribly killed because they unfortunately appeared on a picture. I carefully took it, making sure it was facing away from me, and put it in my backpack facing down. I did everything I could not to get my photo taken accidentally. I went back in the woods alone. I knew my parents would never let me go out after what had happened that day, so I sneaked out of my bedroom window. I went back where me and Dave found the cabin and dug a hole around a tree. I carefully opened my backpack and took out the Polaroid. I slowly placed it down in the hole and started putting dirt over it. No, it's not enough, I thought. I dug it back out and pointed it away from me. I then went in the shed and broke a part of a chair's leg and smashed the Polaroid until nothing remained of it. I then buried the pieces in the hole and went back home. When I entered my backyard, my phone started making a bunch of noises. Constant dings to be precise. Someone must have tried contacting me when I was out in the woods. I entered my home back through my bedroom window and sat down on my computer chair. I pulled out my phone and looked at my notifications. It was an unknown number. It sent a bunch of spam messages. Hello, are you there? Answer me now, and a bunch of other messages of that sort. But the one that really sparked my attention was the one saying, meet me at the cafe near you. We need to talk. I was intrigued. My curiosity quickly got the best of me, and I sneaked out of my room for the second time in one night. When I entered the cafe close to my house, I saw a few customers inside. A couple was sitting happily at a table, smiling at each other. It reminded me so much of Dave and Ashley. They seemed to be so happy together. As I was making out their facial expression a bit more, I heard someone exclaim, Jay, to my left. The second I turned around, someone ran up to me and pulled me into a tight embrace. I was so confused on who it was. I pulled away and looked down to see the crying face of Ashley. How? How is this possible? I thought. You were choking to death. You passed out. You, 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 you died for sake. Ashley just stared at me and started sobbing once again. It's a miracle, Jay. The doctors, they saved me just in time. I don't know how, but I'm still alive. Me and Ashley chatted for what seemed like an hour. I had so much questions. I was still skeptical about all of this. It all seemed like a dream. I kept zoning out and Ashley kept bringing me back to reality. Then came the question I was afraid of. Jay, what happened to Dave? Did he make it? He's not answering any of my messages. How how could I break something like that to her? We decided to go to a nearby park to speak about this. Ashley dropped on the ground as soon as I broke the news to her. She was crying her heart out. I decided to leave her alone for her to grasp what happened and sat on a nearby bench to think. I still don't know how she could be alive. It truly is a miracle. But the thing that I eagerly wanted answers for was how? How did she survive a picture by the Polaroid? But not that Bud, or Brad, or those two other students, or Dave. How did she escape it? But no one else did. After a few minutes, Ashley came and sat down next to me. She wiped tears off her face and smiled at me. I'm glad you're okay though, she said. We talked some more for a few minutes and we both departed home. I went back inside my bedroom and went to sleep. I deserved a good night's rest after tonight. Something crashed through my window. I woke up in a panic and opened my lamp. I turned towards my window and saw the glass shatter on the ground. A Polaroid was sitting on the bedroom floor. It came back to me. How was this possible? I went to inspect it, making sure it was not facing towards me. It was the exact same model, the cursed Polaroid. I had to accept it. It was stuck with me the day I found it with Dave. There's no getting rid of it. I was panicking. I didn't want to accidentally take a picture of someone with it, especially not a picture of myself. I couldn't just leave it in my room either. My little sister has a habit of taking stuff that's not hers. The worst thing that could happen to me right now would be coming back home from school, seeing my family all dead with pictures of them lying around. I placed it back at its usual spot in my shelf for the night and went back to bed. The next morning, I prepared to go to school. My mom asked me if I was sure I wanted to go, considering I hadn't left my room almost at all since those incidents. Knowing Ashley was still alive, it gave me the energy to go back to school. I prepared my school bag and put out the Polaroid at the bottom of it. As soon as I entered the school, all eyes locked straight onto me. I felt uncomfortable and tried to ignore it, and slowly walked to my locker. As I was replacing some of my stuff, someone pushed me from behind, making me hit my head on the top of my locker. It was Darren, aka Brad's. What's up, murderer? He said, grinning maniacally. What the f are you on about, Darren? I replied. Come on, don't give me that bull. I know you killed Dave and Ashley. You were the only one when it happened. Now I want to ask you something real quick. He approached me with an evil look in his eyes. Did you also cause Brad to die? Because if you did, I'll turn every remaining living moment of yours a living hell. My body was shaking. I didn't know what to do. I never fought before in my life, so I couldn't really defend myself. The more I stayed silent, the more angry Darren became. He started yelling at me as I was just standing there, not listening to him. Darren punched me repeatedly, trying to provoke me into doing something. He was certain I was the one who killed the people who died in the school. As I was getting beaten up, Ashley entered the school. She ran up to Darren and pulled him away. What? What the f? You're alive, you b-. How in the living f did you survive this f***ing psycho? He didn't kill anyone. It was all just an unfortunate timing. Pull your head out of for once and look at the facts. Darren was getting more and more angry the passing seconds, and he took looking at her. He turned back to me and smiled. Watch this. He turned back to Ashley and slapped her right across the face, making her fall down on the ground. She started crying. What the was wrong with him? He scoffed and started walking away. I couldn't let this slide. Hey Darren, what do you want, head? Say cheese. I still don't know why I did it. I didn't even think. I regret doing that. Now, Ashley knows about this damn Polaroid. When I told her about Dave's death, I told her he killed himself willingly. I didn't bring the Polaroid in, but seeing me take a picture of Darren and seeing him trip and accidentally stab himself in the guts a few seconds after with his scissors, she clicked. She instantly understood. Is this what happened to me and Dave? I told her everything. The shed, the bird, Brad, her choking, Dave's suicide, everything. Everything was told. She couldn't believe it, and I don't blame her a single bit. She told me she needed time to think. It was a perfect time as the school was shut down due to this incident with Darren. Students were starting to get scared due to many students dying so suddenly. Am I a murderer? I've been sitting in my room for the whole rest of the day looking at this Polaroid. The same question sat in my head the whole time. Am I a murderer? I willingly pointed the camera at Darren. He died soon after. I killed him. What the am I supposed to do now? What if Ashley goes out of her way and tells the whole school? My reputation is already going down so quickly. Everybody thinks I killed everyone, all because of Darren. I've been waiting for Ashley to reply back to me. I need to talk to her. I'll update this as soon as that's over with. That's all I have for part 1 of the story. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for more content like this. Again, make sure to check out Gender Oma No for letting me use this amazing story. Other than that, thank you all for watching this video, and I will be seeing you guys next time with some more spine chilling stories.